Hey everyone, I'm Richard and I'm here today with new information on the PlayStation Neo mid-generation upgrade that Sony is working on right now. Previously we've described technical specifications, but today I'm going to be talking about how Sony aims to integrate the Neo with the existing PlayStation 4 so that they both peacefully coexist in the same market. Now, things may change in the run-up to launch, but this is the way things are in the here and now. All of this information comes from Sony's developer briefings, and these are the guidelines that game makers must adhere to. But there are also some other interesting nuggets of information contained in there too. So for example, fans of the existing DualShock 4 need not worry, there are no changes happening here. The DualShock remains the primary interface for PlayStation gaming, and you can swap your pads between PS4 and Neo with no problems whatsoever. In fact, all of your existing PlayStation 4 peripherals are mandated to work in exactly the same manner on Neo. Secondly, another interesting fact to emerge from the guidelines, 1080p Full HD, that is the minimum allowed resolution for gaming on the new hardware. Developers currently have the flexibility to drop down to 900p or even lower on the existing PlayStation 4. That's completely off the table with Neo, and in-game performance must match or exceed the standard PS4 version. In fact, Sony is more keen on developers supporting higher resolutions, all the way up to 4K. In terms of gameplay features, well, this is interesting. Neo titles can't have any features that are not present in the base PlayStation 4 version of the game. So, you can't have a split-screen mode in the Neo version of the game and not have it supported on PlayStation 4. However, features can be enhanced. So, for example then, a PlayStation 4 title could have two-player split-screen, and developers could add a four-player mode to the Neo version. But remember, Sony isn't allowing game makers to create any kind of exclusive content or game that will only run on Neo. Everything must be compatible with both systems. And that extends to online gaming too. Well, here Sony isn't allowing developers to have PS4 or Neo only servers. Everyone must play together. And I reckon this might actually cause a few issues. Higher frame rates give better controller response, which in theory could give Neo owners a potential advantage in, say, first-person shooters. Next up, the PlayStation front end is going to remain identical, and it's not just about the look either. Functionality will be a match too. You will be able to swap saves or any backup data between any PS4 or Neo console. But according to Sony, it's the developer's responsibility to ensure that save games work. The PlayStation Store, well, that's going to be identical too. And the only change here is that product pages are likely to list Neo-specific enhancements. And while we're here, all downloads are unified. DLC, game patches, well, it's the exact same download for both machines. On the subject of patches, well, Sony has laid out some guidelines for patching old games to support the new hardware. Any existing title can get a Neo upgrade via what Sony calls a forward compatibility patch. So, for example, Uncharted 4 here could see that 900p 60fps multiplayer mode enhanced for full 1080p, or even higher resolutions via a future update. But after October 2016, Sony wants all new games to have Neo functionality out of the box. It's not so keen on developers releasing only on PS4 at that point and then patching in Neo features later. So essentially what Neo is going to be is a companion product. There'll be two PS4 type machines coexisting in the same market. Neo acts just like another PS4 really, albeit a much more powerful one. And there are practical implications here. So the same PSN ID can access the same content on both machines, but you can only have one device allocated as the primary console. And that also means that the same PSN ID can't be logged in simultaneously on a Neo machine and an original PS4. But what that does mean is that all of your existing PS4 content, whether it's enhanced or not, it should just work. And that extends to themes and avatars you may have in your collection. They should work on Neo exactly as they do on PlayStation 4. In fact, Sony is really pushing hard here to ensure that PS4 and Neo are paired very closely. So, take trophies for example. They must be identical on both systems, and they must unlock in the same way. So rest easy, trophy hunters not looking to upgrade to the Neo. There's not going to be anything you're going to be missing out on. So with all this commonality, what is the Neo difference then? Well, on a hardware level, it's an enhanced version of the console that you may already own. And that could be both a good or a bad thing. We'll just have to wait and see how it pans out. We should expect to see support for anything up to 4K resolutions, and there will be richer visual features, higher detail levels, better quality effects, that kind of thing. My hope is that developers do push the new hardware but still give all due care and attention to the original PlayStation 4 as well. And certainly from a financial perspective, that would make sense, bearing in mind the huge installed user base. Okay, so that's a wrap for now. I'll keep you updated with any and all Neo information, and indeed anything else that emerges about new hardware from Nintendo or Microsoft. But in the meantime, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.